case clerk, raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, so help you, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Just step up, just watch your step. Slide this chair underneath. You can have a seat. Can we maybe just keep your voice up when you speak? Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Excellent, we can hear you. I'm just going to ask if you can keep that microphone reasonably close to you, sir. Can you please spell your first and last name for the record?
Sure. It's officially spelled C-E-M, last name M-U-T-L-U. I also spell it with a G, G-E-M.
And can you state your name for us, sir?
Gem Mutlu.
And, sir, right now I'd like to just focus on asking you some questions about a conversation you had with Ana Walshe on December 29th of 2022. Why did you call her that day? Why did you two talk that day?
I called her to congratulate her on her closing.
And how long was the conversation?
I believe it was about 45 minutes.
And besides congratulating her on the closing, what else did the two of you talk about?
We caught up as friends. We talked about plans and also her life at the time, how she was feeling, and yeah, we caught up on a number of things.
Okay, so what did she tell you about her life at the time?
That what I got from it was that there were some issues, marital issues included, and yeah, and that she was, I told her, I said, I don't want you to be too strong. Have you considered therapy? And she said yes.
Okay. What is your memory of what she said as far as marital issues? And not your feeling, but what you remember the conversation to be, sir.
Sure. Part of it was that she was going back and forth from D.C., which was taking a toll on her, and the fact that that Brian had not been able to leave Massachusetts, so the children were here, and that was a huge burden on her psyche, and that, you know, there were other issues. I don't recall with precision as to what they were. I do recall clearly making a mental note to say, this is going to be a much longer conversation, face-to-face, together, and a conversation, obviously, we never had an opportunity to have.
Okay, so within that conversation, when she had discussions with you about marital issues, it was, I want to make sure that we've got this right, the difficulty of traveling, was that it, one of them, for work?
The fact that she was not seeing the children frequently.
All right, yeah. So that's more accurate, and I don't want to misstate what you're saying, sir.
That's correct.
Not seeing the children, and was also another part of it that Brian couldn't leave Massachusetts.
That's correct.
And I don't want to put words in your mouth, sir. I want to make sure that I'm getting your memory of the conversation. Is that what your memory of the conversation is?
Well, my memory of the conversation is that they had marital issues and that she was seeking counseling for all the difficulties in her life, including marital issues.
Okay.
And I encouraged her to do the same because she's a very strong person, and
yes.
Yet I specifically remember telling her, I don't want you to be too strong. Yeah.
Okay. And within the marital issues, did she say specifically what the marital issues were?
I don't recall going into detail during that conversation. There was another conversation we had in the summer I remember that the parts of that conversation. That was almost a 2-hour-long conversation. I was in Puerto Rico at the time, and she and I had a lengthy conversation. At that time, she said that that Brian's art fraud case was taking its toll, that attorney fees were piling up, and that there was a lot of strain financially, a lot of difficulty, and yeah.
Okay. But more to the point of December 29th, I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah.
Did she say anything in the December 29th conversation with you about Brian not being able to leave Massachusetts?
I don't recall with precision. I recall the feeling of it. I do not recall with precision as to whether those words in particular were spoken.
Certainly. And do you have any memory of when she discussed marital problems with you on December 29th, any issues of not seeing the children, of her stating that?
Again, I do not recall with precision what words were spoken.
Okay.
That was the gist of a lot of her problems.
Okay. So when you say that's the gist, is that the gist from the December 29th conversation, or is that your understanding of her overall problems?
I believe it's both.
Okay. All right. So now I want to ask you about New Year's Eve. On New Year's Eve, did you see Ana texting at all?
I did.
And from what you know of New Year's Eve, not from what people told you afterwards, do you know who she was texting to?
Yeah. That I recall, I believe she was texting Abdullah. I believe she was texting Will Fasto. And I believe she may have been texting Emily, a mutual friend, and other people were texting her. It was New Year's Eve, so there was a lot of back and forth texting. Yeah.
And how do you know this from New Year's Eve? What did you experience, see, or what did you experience on New Year's Eve that lets you know this?
I was sitting right next to her at the kitchen table.
And did she ever say, now the three of, did you ever
Kitchen counter.
Kitchen counter.
Yeah.
Did you ever?
Stools on the counter there?
Yes, there were stools on the counter.
And were you and Ana seated on
On the same side. On the
Okay.
same side. I was seated here and she was to my left.
directly side by side?
Directly side by side.
Did she ever show you her phone that night when she was sitting with you there?
She had her phone with her. She took a picture of us that night. Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. With the picture, do you remember who she sent it to that night? Not, and this is what I'm really going to focus you, sir, is that night, not what people told you afterwards. Do you have a memory of who she may have sent the picture you took with her that night?
I believe that she said, let's take a picture and send it to Will Fasto.
And, sir.
Out loud, she said that?
I believe so. I believe she said that to me that night. Let's take a picture out loud. Yes, let's take a picture and send it to Will Fasto. Again, I do not remember it with precision, but I do remember the picture being taken. Yeah.
And, sir, is it fair to say that along the lines of that statement, you told that to me yesterday at lunch? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Had you told me that before, to your memory?
I do not recall.
Okay. And on New Year's Eve, did you have any conversations with Ana about marital problems?
No.
Did you have any conversations with Brian about marital problems?
No.
And I think that covers the subject matter of the voir. So I have no further questions at this point in time.
Good
Thank you.
morning. You had just mentioned a conversation that you had with Ms. Walsh on the 29th of December.
Yes.
If I could just have you lean into that mic so we can hear you. Thank you.
Sure.
And during that conversation, you told us that she mentioned, I think it was difficult to be away from her kids.
I believe so, yes.
And I think you had said at one point that it was difficult to travel back and forth.
I believe so. I mean, those are things that I knew about her anyway. We're very close friends.
Well, let me just stop you. When you say those were things you knew about her anyways,
Yes.
what we're trying to do is focus you on things that she told you herself during that conversation. So as you sit here right now, do you have a memory of specifically what she told you herself on that 12:29 phone call?
I do not remember everything that was said during a 45-minute conversation with Ana that night.
So let me just jump in here for a second. You had a conversation with Ana Walshe on December 29th, 2022.
I did.
And you remember the conversation was about 45 minutes long.
That's correct.
So what I want you to distinguish between, sir, is you don't have to remember the exact words that she used these years later, but you have to have a memory that she actually said what you're discussing, as opposed to this feeling, this gist. You have a memory that she, even if you don't remember the exact words, that she did discuss with you, for instance, what Counsel just said, this idea of being troubled by not seeing the children. So, again, shortly after, I discussed, I explained over a 2.5 hour statement to Detective Harrison what I remembered, because it was all fresh. And that testimony you do have. Okay. What I do not remember... I assume you reviewed that in connection with your testimony here today?
I'm sorry?
Have you reviewed your prior statements to the police?
I have not. Right. No, I have not. I have not. So it's been 3 years, and that's why some of the very words that were spoken, I do not remember. I do remember very specifically having made a mental note to say, she has told me that there are marital issues, that she is seeking counseling, that it's been hard on her, and that this gets to be a much longer conversation. So I made that note, and I was going to reach out to her after the New Year's Eve event to schedule a time in person to speak about those issues.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You used the term marital issues. When you first started talking to us this morning, you stated what I got from the conversation. And you had told us that, you were close with Ana, right?
Yes, very close.
So when you say that you got from her, was it just your feeling that during this conversation that she was having marital issues, or she specifically said the words marital issues?
I do not recall her using the words marital issues. I recall her talking about problems with Brian.
And when you say problems with Brian, the two that you have specified were being away from the children and going back and forth from work.
I'll take a minute to try and remember if there was anything else that was that I can remember right now.
Well, and you previously testified today that Brian not being able to come to D.C.
So the feeling that you got was that she was having marital issues, but it wasn't a statement that she said to you.
No, it was, she did mention problems. She did mention issues. I just don't recall her using the words marital issues.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You can step down, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like us to be heard at sidebar? I'm happy to say, Your Honor, I think that...
Hold on. Now you may speak.
Thank you. I apologize.
All right.
I don't have eyes back here. So...
You are unmuted.
Witness stated she told me there are marital issues, and then when asked about the term marital issues, he stated that there were problems in the marriage, being away from the children and traveling back and forth from work. I would suggest that those come from that conversation. and that is absent of a feeling or a gist and would be admissible. And I would ask, and I would actually even lead on that just to make sure that we're going to the right portion and I'm not misstating what he said.
Well, I'll hear from the defense both with regard to the initial argument and also what's your position if I do let what's your position with regard to leading?
I would object. I don't think it's appropriate or necessary. He's a grown man. If there's an objection, I will make it. I don't think this is appropriate to lead this particular witness where they want him to go. With respect to the testimony, I don't think he should be able to use the term marital issue or marital problems. He was consistently pressed about what Ana told him. It's clear that this was his feeling, his characterization of that conversation. The purpose of this hearsay exception is to admit specific statements of a witness to show state of mind or motive. It is not a chance for this witness to pontificate about his feelings and responses to that witness. So I think he should be limited to just what she said. And I would object if he starts talking about marital problems or marital issues, because I believe that was his characterization.
All right. So as I said to him, he doesn't have to remember the exact words that she used. What he needs to remember is that she actually said it to him. It seems to me there are at least 3 things that he recalls her saying to him, maybe not the exact words, but they, as you just went through, that the back and forth was taking a toll on her, not seeing the children. I don't know if you put those 2 as one, that Brian hadn't been able to leave Massachusetts, and that was a huge burden on her psyche, I think is what he said. I think those are fair statements that he can bring in. I don't think he's had the benefit now of this voir dire in which he's gotten a little bit of legal instruction. I don't know how it's going to play out real time with regard to that word, marital problem, marital issues. But I suspect we'll take that as it comes. He may stay away from that just because he's just been cautioned and just been sort of made aware of the distinction of that he doesn't recall her using those words. So I suspect he won't bring that out. If he does, we'll either clarify it by saying, do you have any memory of her actually using those words? And I will entertain a motion to strike. But I think the general gist of he remembers enough of that conversation that some of it's going to come in, the 3 parts that I have indicated. Because it came up, I'd rather get out in front of this issue than being in the backside of it. Is the Commonwealth intending to bring up during his examination the Puerto Rico conversation?
No, Your Honor, that is the first I heard of it. I wouldn't do that.
All right. And then the other information that he provided, I guess, to the Commonwealth yesterday. That Ana said, let's take a picture and send it to Will Fasto. I assume the defendant isn't objecting to that.
We're not, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else we need to cross?
No, Your Honor.